Hello friends, today we're talking with one of my relatively new clients who has been living in Montenegro for less than a year. Natalia organizes Pilates classes. I think you all know what that is. Natasha, could you please tell us how long ago you came here and why you decided to get into Pilates?
We moved to Montenegro a year ago, and right away I started looking for Pilates classes for myself. I was ready to join group sessions. In Ukraine, I had been practicing Pilates for many years already, and for me it's basically the foundation of my life. In other words, without it, I just don't feel like I'm living fully. At one point, I had the chance to train with an amazing coach who not only leads Pilates classes, but also travels the world to Joseph Pilates School in America, in Italy. I received international certification and became a Pilates instructor myself. So when I came to Montenegro, I ended up in groups that were more like physical education classes with just some elements of Pilates. So I had to create all the right conditions for myself.
So basically, you couldn't find a workplace that suited you and decided to start your own class.
Yes, I found Lazuri, and we were a perfect match.
By the way, the training sessions are held at the Lazura Hotel. It's simply a gorgeous hotel in Herceg, Novi, the best hotel in the region. So, friends, if anyone is looking for truly good accommodation, you can confidently book this hotel. Natasha, I have a question for you. Please tell us, how are your Pilates classes different from traditional ones?
First and foremost, these are exercise routines in the water, such as swimming or water aerobics. That is, they are more effective in comparison because water provides more resistance than air. In other words, a person puts in more effort and the workout goes deeper. Also, and most importantly, there are no contraindications, absolutely none, because there are many types of fitness, or wellness as it's now called, that people are simply not allowed to do for health reasons. Water is our elixir of life, let's put it that way. And Pilates in water is just complete rehabilitation and prevention of many illnesses. And you could go on endlessly about the advantages, while there are no disadvantages.
Yes, friends, as I mentioned earlier, the hotel is very luxurious and it has a really cool spa center. There's a gym here, which is where we are right now. There's a swimming pool, an adult pool, and a separate small pool for children, which is shallow. There's a sauna. In short, I think there's everything you need for a full-fledged vacation, including facilities for working out. Natalia, for example, holds her training sessions right here in this spa center. Tell me, was it difficult to gather your first group? And in general, how many groups do you have now?
Oh, Dimitri, I have 2 groups at the moment. There are more people who wanted than 2. In fact, there's already demand for an evening group. Lazur isn't limitless after all. It's very difficult to accommodate everyone who wants to join with the available resources, because after all, this is a spa center and people come here to relax. Besides that, people come to MAFE at first. It wasn't just easy to form the first group. I actually ended up with 2 groups right away. Again, I'll repeat, this is a unique way of improving one's health and rehabilitation because it takes place in water and there's nothing else like it in Montenegro. That's why girls are coming here from the surroundings of Herceg Novi, even from Satomo. And I'm being invited to Budvater, ready to look for any similar facilities there, simply because there are no equivalent.
Listen, but you can hold sessions not only at Lazur. We have 2 more pools. Okay, one is not far from here. It's only open in summer, but there's also a year-round pool.
Well, Lazur also has a year-round pool.
You just said that you can't accommodate more than 2 groups here.
Yes, in that sense, yes. But for now, as it were in Herceg Novi, I think I won't leave Lazur simply because it's that kind of place, the atmosphere of Lazur.
I see.
Yes. The atmosphere at Lazur just brings, besides my class as well, which already provide, great effectiveness results. But it gives the girls this feeling of relaxation, a sense, the atmosphere of coziness and harmony. Well, Lazur, in addition to the training itself, probably another big advantage is the place, the location.
How much do the classes cost?
I think it's about the price of a cup of coffee at Lazur, 40 euros for 12 sessions. So basically, it's a very reasonable price. I mean, 330, that's the cost of one class. What more is there to say? A latte at a cafe will cost you 3 euros.
Well, look, here's the situation. I just want to explain a bit about pricing in Montenegro, specifically in Herceg, Novi. Usually, Training sessions that don't involve the use of a swimming pool are a bit cheaper, around 25 to 30 euros. For example, football training sessions that require the use of a swimming pool, since you also have to pay for the pool, are always more expensive. Group training sessions cost about the same, around 40 euros, well, roughly 35 to 40, depending on the place. Individual training sessions usually cost 15 to 20 euros per session. So, as Natalia just mentioned, her Pilates classes per month, that is 12 sessions cost 40 euros, which is basically a reasonable market price. Friends, please excuse me, but we're going to take a very short commercial break.
And to help you maintain your energy and good mood throughout the day, in addition to Aqua Pilates, there's Monte Coffee. Monte Coffee is made from Arabica and Robusta beans, harvested in South American countries India and Vietnam, offering varying degrees of richness and strength. But what remains unchanged is that this coffee is always exceptionally freshly roasted. Monte Coffee for every taste and budget.
You can choose and order coffee on the Monte Coffee page on Facebook or Instagram, as well as by calling the phone number shown on the screen. Delivery is available throughout Montenegro. Enjoy your coffee.
Tell me, please, what age group do people who train usually belong to? Or is it very diverse?
Oh, it's very diverse because I have girls as young as 12 coming to me, for example, to support their moms, and they also achieve unique results. For instance, a girl came to support her mom who is undergoing rehabilitation. In fact, based on her condition and the indications, she needs to exercise in the water and preventive care for her health is necessary. The daughter went with her mom to support her. Well, the mom is over 50. In the end, the mom, yes, obviously, achieved tremendous results. In just 4 months, despite having a hand injury, she made a complete recovery. So from not being able to use her hand at all to having full control over it, the daughter is 12, a teenager, right? As a result, improved coordination, gracefulness, and her slouching disappeared completely. That's why Pilates, and especially Pilates in water, really has no contraindications at all, no age restrictions, no weight restrictions. So it's only benefits for everyone.
Excellent. Tell us a bit about the spa center about. Well, you mentioned to me that your classes offer some discounts when visiting the spa.
Yes, that's right. We have a privileged membership. The girls who attend Aqua Pilates classes, they buy a membership and can add on 4 spa visits to that membership for just 20 euros. So after their workout, they all go and continue to enjoy themselves in the spa complex. There we have a hammam, several types of saunas, a jacuzzi, and wonderful mint and lavender showers. So basically, we all come out of there as goddesses.
Friends, the spa center is really amazing. I'll show a few photos, but I don't think I can fully convey its atmosphere. You could make a separate video just about it. Maybe someday I'll come back here and film a video specifically about the spa. For now, I can only say that it's definitely worth visiting. However you want to do it. Whether you want to come for Natalia's workouts or just come on your own, because the spa center is truly amazing. I honestly can't remember ever seeing anything like it before. Can you add anything?
Well, honestly, I don't think you can really describe it. It's better to see it for yourself, because this is exactly the kind of place where no words can truly convey the atmosphere. From the moment you walk in, there are these girls at the entrance, all very, very friendly, right? The 5-star feeling here is so strong that when you arrive, it really seems like everything around you is designed for your relaxation and comfort. No matter who it is from the staff, they'll bring you a towel, slippers if you forgot them. If you need some water, they'll bring it to you, whether you're in the hammam or anywhere else. But what I mean is that their level of 5-star service is truly world-class. Because I can't recall ever experiencing conditions where everything is so focused on your service and comfort. That's why I'm really so much grateful to Lazuri for welcoming us, our team, my mermaids, and now we're just thriving here.
Natasha, could you please tell us what motivated you to move to Montenegro? I completely understand that in general everyone has similar reasons for moving, but still.
Well, yes, that's really the question. To put it briefly, I just honestly wanted to change the emotional background of my life. That's probably the most accurate answer, because the way you perceive all your problems, they don't really change. Everyone still has their own, but your perception of them changes here. That's what I call the emotional background of life. When you see all this beauty around you, this sense of tranquility, when you immerse yourself in this Polako lifestyle, as Montenegrins call it, you start to go along with it, and the quality of life is worth dropping everything to live in peace.
Natasha, why did you choose Herceg Novi? Who actually made the choice? Was it you, your husband, or was it a joint decision?
Well, initially when we first came to Montenegro on vacation and took a boat tour, we were living in Budva at the time. Of course, at first we were charmed by Tivat, well, by Porto Novi. Then, as it happened, we ended up on the boat, and they dropped us off on those steps, well, Vedran. They dropped us off, we walked and saw this city on the steps. I thought, well, probably ordinary people can't really live here. Probably only some chosen people live here. I mean, such a small town just can't fit everyone who wants to live here. At that time, we weren't even thinking about moving yet. We were considering options. I've always wanted to live by the sea, Cyprus, Montenegro. But then, Dima, it was your channel. I'll be honest, my husband really got hooked on it. We actually started looking forward to every new episode about this city. And I thought then, wow, how thoughts really do materialize when we were on that excursion on the ship. I was just completely enchanted. I really love this kind of architecture. I first fell in love with similar architecture back in Venice. Of course, it's not really comparable, but what I mean is I love this, the stone, the narrow streets, all of that. And when your channel made it clear that people actually live here, that you can live here, everything's fine, come on over, well, that was it. There was no doubt left.
In your opinion, which city besides Herceg Novi is also good for living? Or cities maybe?
I don't even know. We actually didn't really consider any other cities for ourselves.
Well, for example, you lived in Budva, so at the very least you know Budva well.
Yes, I know Budva, and I think, yes, of course you can live there, but I wasn't comfortable there. That's just how it is. I didn't get that feeling of a little paradise. It's big, it feels like a real city with all its, yes, beautiful modern new buildings. But I guess I wanted something cozier. Herceg Novi even reminds me of those small Italian towns that I used to like, and that's why I didn't consider other cities. Although, yes, I agree, Budva would probably suit someone else. For those who want an active lifestyle, maybe?
Natasha, could you please tell us which neighborhood of Herceg Novi you live in?
Right now, we live in Savina.
And which neighborhoods do you think are the most suitable for living in the city? Well, you've lived in Savina for so many years, so I guess it's Savina and once again Savina.
Yes, Savina and Savina. But we used to live in Topla, and it was comfortable there too.
Topla 1, Topla 2.
There were two of them.
So basically, you were my neighbor?
Yes, yes, yes. And it was well, I felt like everything suited me there, everything was good. But when I moved to Savina, that was it for me. The whole route, the promenade, such an open location, beautiful views. Yes, yes, very close to the sea. So for now, I can't even imagine what I would be willing to trade that for.
Tell me, do you ever feel nostalgic for your homeland?
No, it doesn't happen.
Maybe the opposite?
The opposite? Well, the opposite hasn't happened yet either. All my loved ones are still back home, so I only feel nostalgic for them. But this year there were charter flights, so everyone came, I saw everyone, and I don't feel drawn back there.
It's easier for you from Russia since regular flights haven't resumed yet. Tell me, over the past few weeks I've already filmed several interviews. I ask everyone the same question: how much money do you need to live in Montenegro? Specifically for a family. You have a family of 3. So how much do you need for 3 people just to survive, but at the same time not feel completely poor?
I think about 1,500 euros.
Including rent?
Yeah, yes.
Well, I thought about the same, more or less, although
It's that here there isn't.
they say you can live on 1,000. I actually know people with families who live on 1,000, but still, I think that's really cutting it close.
But I'll just say that before our child's entertainment was regularly things like movie theaters, playlands, and those kinds of parks. And we used to spend a lot of money on that. Every weekend, it was a decent amount of money. Here, the entertainment is the sea, the sand, the pebbles. And I think that's wonderful. I mean, it's better to pay for housing here and, you know, have the child live by the sea, breathing fresh air, than to spend money on all those external entertainments that, in reality, don't really provide any benefit.
Well, let's talk about the kids after all.
Yes.
There's this opinion which is often shared somewhere, like on social media, that kids here have nothing to do nothing to keep them occupied. So, what does your child do besides school and the beach?
Besides school and the beach, here in Herceg Novi, there are some women mothers who have moved here, some from Russia, some from Ukraine, who have created this club for kids. I wouldn't call it just an entertainment club. It's more of a developmental club for children, and it has everything. So, for example, there's bead weaving, English with a native speaker, and a candidate of physical and mathematical sciences teaches logic there wonderfully. They also organize celebrations there. My child goes there for Zumba, goes for logic classes, so she has things to do and she goes there with pleasure. The moms have come together well. They're not just moms, they're talented individuals, accomplished people who perhaps haven't found anything for themselves in Herceg Novi. Although I know many who go to music classes, who do water polo. Well, I think that here, there probably aren't any children who aren't involved in something. Everyone is busy with something, one way or another.
I see, yes. Tell me, please. You've been living in Montenegro for about a year now, and before that you visited it several times. So in any case, you more or less know, at least to some extent. Can you name the top, well, let's say the top 3 main attractions of Montenegro?
Well, I really love nature so much. I mean, the scenery. So that's why what really impresses me, for example, is that in Sveti Stefan there's a viewpoint where the Church of St. Sava is.
Yes.
For me, that's one of my top spots. I go there and I can endlessly look at all of it with admiration, with emotions inside. Similarly, the same goes for the fortress in Kotor. Well, St. John. Yes, that's Saint, yes, St. John, that path. I really love the old town of Kotor, really. I understand that I wouldn't want to live in Kotor, but I want to go there often. As soon as any of my friends arrive, I immediately say, to Kotor, to Kotor. I've climbed that wall 1,000,000 times already because that view, well, it's truly impressive, and the emotions you get from it, it's like butterflies in your stomach. And well, Kotor itself is beautiful, lovely, all those little streets. So, those are the 2 main places. And maybe this sounds cliche, but I really love Herceg Novi. I love these endless steps. I love these streets. I love these clocks of ours, which are there, well, like everything seems normal, but every time you photograph them, they are different every time. Our little tower. So for me, the places I like most are the ones that really showcase the dramatic nature here. Yes, like the mountains, the sea, the view. No architectural structures or anything like that. Everything else leaves me indifferent.
Then maybe you'll end up liking the beach more?
Maybe. We haven't really explored it yet. Not yet. But this is our first summer here.
Yes.
And we wanted to really spend it on the beach.
Natasha, in your opinion, what are the main advantages of Montenegro?
Advantages? Do I need to describe all of them?
No, just the main ones. Are there, for example, some big fundamental advantages that are the reason you actually live here?
The sea for me, that's a plus.
But there's also the sea in Crimea and in Anapa.
Yes, but we probably want a more comfortable lifestyle in every sense. And I think that means other countries. It's not Russia, not Ukraine. Basically, everyone who moves here, they move from there just to get away from there. So the sea, which delights you all year round with its emerald colors and waves. When we arrived here and it suddenly got cold, we thought, oh God, what are we going to do? Everything is cold. And then these beautiful waves start, and when you look at them, they just captivate you. But that's also such an interesting way to spend your time. Tell someone about the waves and they won't believe you. But the waves in Herceg Novi are just amazing. You have to run so the wave doesn't drench you. You need to make it through in time, count how many waves have to pass so you can run across. So it's really like a whole attraction in itself. But in general, of course, the climate in Montenegro, the people in Montenegro, I mean, I don't even know how many advantages I could list because everything here. The cheeses, the olives, the seafood, yes.
Except for cucumbers, of course.
Yes, I think except for the cucumbers, the rest are all pluses. You walk by and pick up a simon, you walk by and pick a pomegranate, you walk by and pick a kiwi, you walk by and pick a little mandarin. In the summer, we easily picked limes everywhere we went. And it's not like we were taking them from someone's garden. No, all of this grows along the promenade, along the Shitalish, right along the way. I mean, it's not like you don't have to take anything from anyone or sneak into someone else's garden to pick fruit. No, everything is accessible, it's wonderful, and you can't help but be delighted by it, especially when you're used to just picking cherries at home. But here, you pick a pomegranate right off the tree, walk along and eat it. Of course, it's all very impressive indeed.
What do you not like about Montenegro in particular?
Honestly, so far I haven't found anything I don't like about Montenegro. I still haven't found anything.
Everyone has their own perspective. Some people say, oh, there are so many bad things here. But at the same time, I've noticed something curious. Those who say that for some reason don't go back home from Montenegro. They still live here. Which, by the way, proves that probably...
That's actually an interesting question. I'd like to imagine it, but really what is it that you don't like here?
I like everything.
Well, yes, I'm just thinking, to whom?
You can always find something to nitpick about, but there aren't any really major downsides, like the kind where you'd say, oh, because of this, I just don't know how I could live here.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
Yes, I agree.
Of course, you can always find little things anywhere, probably in any country.
Yeah, probably in any country. But I think that people will always find flaws if they're really looking for them. And if you're focused on the fact that you feel good here, well, then you feel good here.
Natasha, could you please give some advice to potential immigrants who want to move to Montenegro?
Faster, faster. Well, I don't know, it's like don't put off until tomorrow what you should have mastered yesterday. So my advice is move here because there are definitely only advantages. And as soon as you arrive, you'll understand that right away. So don't waste any time.
Friends, Natalia's phone number is in the description of this video. If you happen to have come to Montenegro and want to start doing well, at least if you've come to Herceg Novi for sure and want to start doing Pilates, please reach out to her and she will advise you. And in fact, you'll come to this wonderful place and start practicing. And you can contact me with any questions about immigrating to Montenegro. Thank you all for your attention and goodbye.
Thank you. All the best. Come visit soon.
Bye.